Good. Hi, it's Jackie. We're going to do a short yoga practice today. So take a few minutes to get what you need. If you have a yoga mat, you can lie that out on the floor. If you have cell phones or computers, things that make noises, that have notifications on them, it'd be nice to just shut those off for this little bit of time. And if you can go into a room where you can shut the door, that's really good. So we're going to begin our practice today on our hands and knees. So when you come onto your hands and knees, you may prefer to pad your knees. So I always like it, find it helpful. So if you want to grab a blanket or a thicker towel, if you're on a carpet, you may not need that. But get what you need, and we'll start with on the hands and knees. So in this position, we'll stack up the joints so the shoulders are over the wrists and the hips are over the knees. And just beginning to think about your breath. As you breathe in through the nose, let your chest lift. You might lift your chin a bit. As you breathe out through the nose, pull your belly in so your low back rounds and fold your elbows down. Let your hips fold back and your head bow. And on your inhale, just glide back up to all fours. Sometimes we call that tabletop. Exhale, the navel draws in, the elbows fold down, the hips sink back. And inhale, rise back up. And just, again, exhaling back, starting to get this idea, this concept of moving with your breath and breathing through your nose. So glide back up on your inhale. Here the chest lifts a little. Exhale back again. We're going to start to move the arms a little bit. And on this inhale, as you come up, lift your right arm and stretch it forward like you're going to shake hands. And on your exhale, move back, lower the hand down, fold back, pull your belly in. And then glide up on your inhale, let your left arm reach forward. And then come down on your exhale, fold back. So inhale, shift to the right arm again, but this time take it out to the side and open up your chest a little bit into a little twist. And then exhale, let it float down, fold back on your exhale. And then to the left side. So inhale, let the left arm float open. And then exhale, coming back down. And we'll do each side again. So inhale, let the right arm open. What do you notice in your right shoulder? And as you exhale down, pull your belly in as you fold back. And then inhale, left arm. Pull the navel in as you fold back on the exhale. And then inhale up, and for a few breaths, put your elbows down on the floor. And perhaps it'd be nice to circle your wrists or massage the wrists or let your hips sway side to side. All these can be nice for the joints, hip joints, wrists. And then push up to all fours again. And tuck the toes of both feet under. And on the exhale, push down through your hands so the hips lift up, downward facing dog pose. And walk out the backs of your legs gently, noticing how that feels. And then we're going to do a little sequence including this pose with the ones we've done so far. So please inhale down to your knees. Let the exhale take you back to child's pose. Let the elbows touch, and again, the head bows a little. And on the inhale, you glide up to all fours. The chest lifts slightly. Tuck the toes and exhale. Pull your belly in as you push up to dog pose. And then a slow inhale to lower back down to your knees. And then exhale back to child's pose. And then glide back up to tabletop. That's the in-breath. Exhale, push up to dog pose. Inhale to your knees. Do that one more time. Exhale back, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, little lift of the chest. Tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale to your knees again. And then just walk your hands in towards your body and stand up on your knees. And if you're able to tuck your toes under for this part, you can do that. And then just if you need to pad the knees a little bit more, do that. And then I'm just going to turn this way. So take an in-breath, sweep your arms out to the side and up. See how that feels. Maybe your eyes lift a little. And on the exhale, as the arms float down, the eyes lower down, and you're pulling the navel in. So for a couple of breaths, we're gonna just focus on the breath a little bit, and then we'll go back to that movement. So if you touch your lower abdomen, you think about these abdominal muscles, the transverse abdominis that wraps around the sides of the body. When you inhale, let your two hands float out to the sides and feel how your chest, your rib cage expands. And on your exhale, touch your belly again. Feel how the abdominal area draws in on the exhale, like you're zipping up the zipper on something a little snug. So do that again. Inhale. You feel the breath in your chest. Exhale. Pull the belly in. Now this time, back to the bigger arms. So let your arms float out to the side and up and feel the chest expand. Maybe the eyes lift. And then exhale your arms down. Try to pull the navel in as you lower the arms and lower the eyes. And again, inhale up. And exhale, trying to find that muscular engagement. And then this inhale, lift up. And on your exhale, let your right hand go behind and your left arm forward and turn your head, look back behind. And then inhale back to the center, lift your arms back up. Pull your belly in as you exhale to the other side, left hand behind, right arm forward. It doesn't actually matter, just go to one side. Inhale to the center, lift. And then exhale, let your arms float all the way down. And we'll do that to each side again. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, little twist to the right. Look over your shoulder. The in-breath lifts you back up. You feel the breath in your chest. Exhale to the left, pull the navel in, a little turn here. Inhale to the center, rise back up. And then exhale your arms down. And one last time, we'll just take both arms out to the side and up. And just inhale up. And a slow exhale through your nose as you come down. And then you can put your hands back down on the floor. We'll do just a little forward bend to counter that back bend. So please push up to downward dog. Pedal out your legs a little bit. So some options here. If we think about how the in-breath lengthens the spine. So on your inhale, you could bend your knees a little bit and push your hands down so your hips lift up. And on the exhale, as you hold, you can just pull the belly in or maybe let your heels drop down, the legs straighten a little bit. And then inhale, the knees soften and the hips lengthen up. And then exhale, the belly draws in and maybe, again, the legs straighten slightly. See what's comfortable for you. Try that one more time. Inhale, bend the knees a little bit, lift your hips up. Exhale, pull the belly in and maybe straighten the legs. And then just make your way up to standing. So however you come up is fine. And if you did have a blanket or something there for your knees, you can move it out of the way. And then we'll just swing a little bit. So if you stand with your feet about hip width apart, you can let your arms swing. And your head gently turn and your arms a little bit floppy. And then pause for a moment. Stand a little taller. Roll your palms open. Just feel the feet on the floor and feel the length of your spine. And then thinking about your breath again. So if you can think on the in-breath as we lift the arms up of the sides and the spine lengthening as your arms reach up. And on the exhale, as you lower down, the shoulders soften and the belly draws in again. So this time as you do that, let your heels float up off the floor. So as your arms reach up, your heels lift, and there's a little perhaps quivering in your legs. And then exhale smoothly down so that your heels touch the floor as your hands touch the sides of the body. So the heels are going to come down quite slowly. So inhale up again. And then exhale down, pulling the belly and going down slowly. So this time we're going to stay up for one breath. So inhale, lift your heels up as your hands go up. And on your exhale, let your arms go halfway down and the heels lower a little bit. And as if the in-breath lifts you back up, float back up. And do that again. Exhale. Belly draws in. You go down a little bit. The in-breath lifts you back up. Exhale all the way down. Let the heels touch. And pause for a moment and just notice the effect of that simple movement. So you might feel your heart rate went up. You might feel a little bit of energy in your legs, or even a stretch in your low back, the back bend. So we're going to counter that back bend movement with a little forward fold. So if you still have your feet about shoulder width apart, touch your hands to the sides of your hips. And when you inhale, feel how the chest expands. When you exhale, bend your knees, let your upper body bow forward, and just slide your hands down the sides of your legs. And then on your inhale, just glide back up with a flat back. And do that again. So exhale, down. Inhale, back up. And do that one more time. Exhale, down. And then come all the way down so that your hands make their way to the floor, and just gently come down to lie on your stomach. And once you get down onto your stomach, you can stack your hands up so that you can rest your forehead on your hands, and just bend your knees and let your legs sway, your feet sway side to side. It might feel like a little massage for the fronts of the legs. For most people, lying down is okay. If it hurts your hip points, you could put the blanket or some padding under your hips. Taking off your eyeglasses can sometimes be nice. And then bring your feet to the floor. Try to keep them pretty close together, not too far apart. And we're going to do the cobra pose. So if you can think about a little baby snake. We're going to bring our hands pretty close down by the ribs, not way up here by the shoulders, but down so the elbows kind of stick up. And you can hug your wings, your chicken wings, towards your sides. And then thinking about like the little baby snake, as you inhale, just let your chest lift, and like your little baby snake head just peeks out from under the leaves. And then exhale down. So try to do this movement with your abdomen and your back, not your hands. So inhale up, and you can test that by just maybe picking your hands up for a second. And exhale down. You could turn your head to one side if you like. And then again, inhale up. What do you feel in your back? Exhale down, turn your head to the other side. And then pause and put your hands under your forehead again. When you get to the next in-breath, just slowly lift your right leg. Try to keep your right hip down, but lift your right leg up. And then exhale back down with that leg. And again, lift the right leg. And then exhale back down. Pull your belly in. And we'll do 2 breaths to the left leg. So inhale, lift the left leg like the breath lifts it up. Exhale down. Remember, you're trying to keep that left hip bone on the floor. Once more, left leg. Exhale back down. Pause for a breath. And then bring your hands back down by your sides. You could tuck the chin again so your forehead can touch. And we're going to peel up into that little baby snake. So you can think about dragging your hands back toward your hips. So you can just kind of peel your chest up off of the floor. You don't have to lift your chin a lot. Exhale back down. Now this time, lift your chest and your right leg. So inhale, lift your chest and your right leg. And then exhale down. Remember, you're not using your hands to push you up. Inhale, lift your chest and your left leg. Exhale down. Each side again. So chest and right leg. Exhale down. Chest and left leg. Exhale down. If that feels like it was pretty much enough for your back, you can skip this last one. But the last time we're just going to inhale and lift the chest. And on your exhale, while you hold, pull your belly in, maybe lift your hands up a little bit. Inhale, put the hands down, lift a tiny bit more. And then exhale down. And slowly push yourself back to child's pose. So, and if you'd like to slide that padding underneath your knees again, you can do that, but we want to get the back to round for a few breaths after the cobra, after the little baby snake. So you can rock and sway here. You could stack your hands up to support your head. And notice your breath, just how you're feeling energetically. So kind of energizing poses, those little snake poses. And then come back up to all fours. Tuck your toes and push up to downward dog. Again, this is a forward bend that kind of helps to stretch out the back of the body after the cobra. You can bend your knees a little bit to get a little more stretch in the back. And then walk back up to standing. And once you get up to standing, you can swing a little bit again. And just notice how you're feeling now after those little lifts. Really great to strengthen the back muscles. Good for your digestion, too. So I hope you didn't eat a big meal before you did this practice. All right, and then we're going to do a couple of movements in the warrior one position. So we're still going to keep the feet hip-width apart, so they're not super close together. I'm going to face the short edge of my mat. Let your right foot step forward and your left foot step back a comfortable distance. And then when we do the movement, we're going to be bending the front knee. So we want that knee to come right over the heel on that bend, so just make sure that that distance feels about right for you. And when you exhale, straighten the front leg and touch the abdomen again like we did before. When you inhale, bend the knee, let your hands float out so you feel the breath in your chest. All right, exhale, straighten the leg, pull the belly in. This time we're going to bend the knee and lift the arms up. We'll call this cactus arm, so the elbows are bent. And on your exhale, straighten your leg. You could touch the abdomen again so you get that sense of drawing in. Let's do that again. Inhale. Straighten the leg, belly in. So we want to bend the knee a comfortable amount so that the knee is over the heel. You're welcome to step your feet a little wider if you like. Exhale. We're going to hold the next one. So bend the knee, lift your arms. And on your exhale, draw your elbows down so the shoulders soften down and pull your belly in. And on the in-breath, a little lift. Can you think about that little baby snake, that little cobra? Exhale, so there's a little lift in the chest. You could also be doing it like this, so the shoulder, you're leaning forward a little bit, and then the lift, inhale looks like that. On the exhale, you just soften forward, especially if that hurts your back, this pose. So inhale, little lift like the cobra. Exhale, softening. And one more in-breath. When you get to the exhale, you can bring your hands down. You might like to do downward dog from here. You could just put your hands down, do downward dog. Or if you prefer, you can come up to standing again, and we'll swing a little bit. So fine if you want to do a few breaths in downward dog, or you can do this swinging movement. If you did come to downward dog, go ahead and come on up to standing. You can swing a little bit. And then we'll step the feet into the pose for the other side. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see my left leg, but we're going to step the left foot forward and the right foot back. And again, we'll take a moment to do like a test bend in the front knee. So we want the knee to come right over the heel on the bend, and on the exhale, when you straighten the leg, you can touch the belly, get a sense of the abdomen drawing in, and on the inhale, as the knee bends, the spine lengthens, the chest expands. Exhale, touch your abdomen as you straighten the leg. This time, bend the knee, let your arms float up slowly to cactus. Straighten the leg, exhale, touch your belly. Again, inhale, bend your knee, let your arms float up. Exhale, straighten the leg, touch. Let's do that once more. A slow in-breath. You feel the spine lengthen, chest expand. Exhale, touch the belly. This one, we're going to hold the bend in the knee. So inhale, bend your knee and lift. As you hold on the exhale, pull the navel in, let the shoulders drop down. And then again, thinking about that little baby snake, that little cobra, where can you lift a little? And on the exhale, shoulders soften. Again, it's fine if you're leaning forward a little bit so that this doesn't hurt your back. But there's still on the inhale, there's a little lift, a feeling of lengthening. On the exhale, the navel draws in. Maybe the shoulders get a little softer. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, at this time you can bring your hands down. And again, if you like, you could bring your hands to the floor and do downward dog. If you prefer, you can stand up. And if you're choosing to stand, you can let your arms swing. Your head could turn. This time, maybe an option for your neck, you can turn your head over the opposite shoulder. So as my arms swing one way, I'm turning my head the opposite way, which can feel nice for the neck. If you chose to come to downward dog, come on up to standing. And then if you didn't already, swing a little bit, and then you can just stand tall for a moment. Maybe rolling the palms open, perhaps even closing the eyes. So just seeing the effects of the movements, the effects of the breathing. And then step your feet out wide. So I'm going to say one leg's distance apart, but you can see what's good for you. So maybe shoulder width apart, maybe not so wide. I have an injury to my ankle, so I can't go too wide. So we're going to exhale like we did before and just slide the hands down the sides of the legs. Pull the belly in, take a little bow. Stretch out your back a little bit. And then inhale back up to standing with a flat back. All right, so again like that, exhale. So you just lean maybe halfway down. And then inhale. So this time, thinking about that little baby cobra, we're going to go down and hold for one breath. So bend your knees, exhale down. And think about the cactus arms here, and on your inhale, little lift of your chest. Then on your exhale, lower your hands back down, pull your belly in. You might let your chest bow back down. And then inhale back up to standing. So see how that felt for your back. If it didn't feel so good, don't bow down so far. So this time we're going to try to hold 2 breaths. So exhale down. A slow inhale, cactus arms like little baby cobra. We're lifting up a little bit. And on the exhale, we're just letting the chest lean forward. You might even straighten the legs a little bit, but be nice to your back. So inhale, the knees bend, that little lift. Exhale, this time lower your hands all the way down. And then inhale back up to standing. Good. So again, we'll do that 2 breaths. So exhale down. The knees bend as we go down. Inhale like the little baby cobra, chest lifts. And on the exhale, just bow down a little bit. Maybe straighten the legs a tiny bit. Inhale, that little lift. Don't hurt your back. And then exhale your hands down to your legs. And see if you can find the floor with your hands and walk the hands out like a wide downward dog. You could bend and straighten the legs one at a time. So you may want to adjust the distance between your feet. Maybe you'd like them a little closer, maybe a little wider. Wider hands can be nice for the shoulders. And just letting the head hang down can be kind of nice here. Bending both knees, lifting the hips up a little higher. And then on an inhale, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and look up. And on the exhale, bend both knees, touch your legs, the belly's tight. And then inhale, back up to standing. And then step your feet back in. Give each leg a little shake. And one more time, you can swing a little bit. See how you feel. All right, and then we're going to lie down on our back. We're going to kind of stretch out the back after those movements. So pull come down onto your back. Once you get down onto your back, you can pull your knees into your chest. And circling the ankles may feel nice. And then maybe a little rocking side to side. Or even some circles with the knees. That can be nice too. You think about massaging your low back. And then for a bit, let your feet come down to the floor. Knees can be bent, and many people find it quite helpful to have the feet a little bit wider and the knees touching. And then thinking about the breath in the same way we've been moving today. You can start with your hands, palms down by your sides. And when you inhale, lift your arms up over your head, and maybe they touch the floor back there. Feel the chest expand. On the exhale, as you bring your arms down, try to firm your belly. You try to draw the abdomen in. Inhale, lift your arms. The arms are long, the spine is long. And then exhale down. Now, then pick your feet up off of the floor, and the next inhale, straighten your legs toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, bend the knees, still drawing in the belly. And then inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, the belly draws in. Now this time we'll do the arms and legs together. So legs up, arms up, inhale. And then exhale, lower. Inhale. Everything down, exhale, belly draws in. One last time, everything up. Inhale. Everything slowly down on the exhale, and then you can put your feet down on the floor. And we'll take the feet out a bit wider here. Maybe to the edges of your mat, or wider than your hips if you don't have a mat. You might enjoy just having the hands out to the sides, not up above your shoulders, but maybe a little bit below your shoulders. The palms could be up or down, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then just begin on the inhale, breathe into your chest. And on the exhale, let your knees go maybe 2 inches to one side. And then inhale back to the center. And then exhale to the other side. Inhale, and then just each time explore going just a little further to each side. Inhale and exhale. So we're trying to move slowly and breathe slowly. So you just see how slow you can go, as if your exhale takes your knees to one side, as if the inhale brings them back up. Exhale. Inhale, and then you might, some of you might have your knees going all the way to the floor, maybe not. And inhale, everything coming back up. So you want to be paying attention to the hips and any sensations in the low back here. So the first rule of yoga is that is just no pain, no pain. So there's a Sanskrit word, ahimsa, which means do no harm, non-harming. So as you explore this movement, maybe you don't go very far. And going slower can help you just have a little more awareness of the sensations in your body as you move. We'll go one more to the other side. And then bring your knees back up and let your feet come in so they're even with your hips now. And if you can bend your knees, you can bring your feet a little closer to your body, depending on your knee joints. If you have pain in your knees, you may have them further away, but if you can bring them in pretty close, do that, and then let the palms face down by your sides. And the next movement, we're going to inhale and just lift the hips up off the floor. And on the exhale, lower your hips back down. Again, we're hugging in the belly on the way down. And for this part, try to look straight up so you're not turning your neck. So inhale, little lift. Exhale down slowly. Again, moving slowly, noticing the sensations in your hips and your low back. Repeat again. Doesn't matter how high you go. We're just working the muscles of the back body, the hamstrings, the glutes, a little bit in the back muscles. See how it feels to add your arms this time, so you lift your hips and your arms up. And then the slow exhale to come down so that everything touches at the same time. Your hands touch and your hips touch together. And again, slow inhale to lift. Slow exhale to lower. And then this time, perhaps you lift and hold. You could lift just your hips and hold, or lift your hips and your arms and hold. Still breathing slowly, smoothly. You might be just aware of the work of some of the muscles, hamstrings, glutes. You might notice how the chest lifts or expands a little on the inhale, and try to firm or to draw the belly in on the exhale. It's fine if you've come down. It's fine if you want to stay another breath or two. So if you're still up here, please come down on your next exhale. And once you've come down, you may find it quite nice to pick your feet up off the floor. And again, just sway or rock so that maybe you're moving your knees in circles. Some people also like this, lifting the chest up toward the knees after that movement. You can see how that feels. Maybe some ankle circles. And then lower your feet back down. Again, you might enjoy having the feet a little wider and the knees touching. And let your hands rest comfortably, maybe on your belly. And begin to let go of any effort to control your breath. So I'm going to suggest for the next 3 breaths that you try to take the deepest breaths you've taken all day long. And when you inhale, deep breath in. When you exhale through your mouth, a little sigh. You feel how that kind of releases some of the tension. So 2 more breaths like that. Big breath in. And through your mouth. Sound might kind of sound like ah. So again. And then if you're comfortable keeping your eyes closed, just notice for a moment the sensations in your body, the breath. Just enjoying the support of the floor. And we're going to begin to transition into the relaxation pose, Shavasana. So for this part, the main goal is to be comfortable. So if you lie with your knees bent like this, and this is comfortable for your hips and your low back, maybe you keep your knees bent, or maybe you take a blanket and place it underneath your knees so that you can have just a little bend in the knees, or a cushion or a pillow can be good under the knees. You might like having your hands on your belly. You might like having your hands out to the sides, palms up is a classic open position. Or that previous position where you had your knees bent and the knees touching. All those can be really helpful. So take a few breaths to get yourself situated so that you can have a few minutes to rest your body. So this last pose, the Shavasana, the relaxation pose, just as important as the other poses, if not more important. So it gives your body gives you a chance to integrate all the information from the breathing and the poses. Just letting yourself settle, and if you're comfortable closing your eyes, just keep the eyes closed and just begin to let everything get a little bit heavier, as if you feel the weight of your arms, the weight of your legs. No effort at all to try to breathe any particular way. As you settle, I'll say a little prayer, a little message. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be at ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all live with ease. So I encourage you to rest here for another 5, even 10 minutes. You could perhaps count 12 breaths. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.